Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Hello, this is Hal Coleman, the Pest Control Marketer, and welcome to yet another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. And I'm here with my friend, my mentor, my business associate, my cohort in crime, the usual suspect, Mike Stewart, the Internet audio guy, and better known as Mr. Online. How's that for an intro, Mike?
My goodness, what a bunch of adjectives. I got to go back to English class. Gee.
Dang, is that what those are?
Well, I'm not really sure.
I thought they were propositions.
Well, if they were, I'd have taken you up on it.
Well, there you go. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's always good to get together with my buddy on these podcasts and talk about marketing and all the things that people could do that could make a difference in their business and in their lives. You know, that's my why. I hope that's your why as well, Hal.
That's my why. And you know, being in the pest control industry now for over 45 years, it's my life, you know, it's my life's blood is the pest control industry. I love it. And so anything I can do to help other people who are in the position that I used to be in, which is having a business and trying to grow it and having a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of frustrations, making a lot of mistakes. So my goal is to help people stay out of the potholes and stay out of the ditches and make more money, make more profit, and less mistakes. So it's always fun to do this. You know, I get a lot of good comments from people. I get emails on Facebook groups and messages that some people just tell me how much benefit they get out of our podcast, and that some of them say they're just kind of using our podcast as their sole resource for giving them a guideline to grow their business. And I'm telling you, that really, really makes me feel good. And so that keeps me fired up for doing more of them. And coming up now, a while back, Mike, I put a little on our Facebook group, Pest Control Marketing Goal. I put out a question in, are there any subjects or topics that you would like to hear Mike and I bounce around on the podcast? And one of them came back and said, yeah, how about podcasting for pest control? Could you guys talk about that? So that's what I'd really like to kick around today. If you're a pest control company and you'd like to consider podcasting as a marketing tool, just like Mike and I do, you can do that. And so we want to talk about it a little bit. Why should a pest control company be doing a podcast, Mike?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, that's a great example of why it's so important. Why, you know, you just kind of alluded to why we do it. One is it's a relationship building opportunity on the internet, and most importantly to mobile devices such as cell phones and tablets, and now, you know, laptop computers have gotten so small and light that they're basically mobile, and dashboards of cars. So the thing that you got to realize that even though it's called podcasting, it's a whole lot more than that. It's not. It's really a terrible name, if you ask me. The reason it's called podcasting is the guy that developed it years ago, back in 2002 or 3, I think is when it first was developed. iPods were the first mobile MP3 players or audio players. And so he was a big Apple fan, had an iPod, and so he thought he would, instead of broadcasting, he would call it podcasting. So the name podcasting has really nothing to do with what it really is. It just was named after the device that was popular at the time. And but what it really is content marketing. And what that means is that if you want to establish a dominance in the online world, you can either do that with paid advertising, or you can dominate with content. And that's one of the things.
You can buy your way there, or you can work your way there.
You can earn your way there, or you can buy your way there, or you can ask people to share you. And that's the social way, social media. Post something on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and hope the world finds you and shares you. And that's a hope and wish strategy. Doesn't always work. You have very little control over it. People either care or they don't care. But what happens with podcasting is it is a form and is probably considered one of the most powerful forms of content marketing to get established online as an authority. And we knew 15 years ago plus, that blogging, another ugly word, is a form of content marketing. It's journaling. It's writing and creating written word content that people would like and share. And it would, the more articulate you were and the more informative you were, the more of your content found, then you became an authority. And there's been lots of examples of really good journalists or bloggers that have built huge audiences, and it's just grown and grown and grown. A great example of one of my mentors is a guy named Seth Godin. Seth Godin wrote a book years ago called Permission Marketing, several books on how to market on the internet and how to market effectively. I mean, just because you write and what you say can make a huge difference. So technically, a podcast is recording content or recording information and turning it into a format called an MP3 audio file, and then configuring it properly that where it's all over the internet and it's findable on the internet in a multitude of places. It's the one audio subscription content that you own and control. So, and maybe this has been a little bit of a long answer, but it's you got to lay this foundation, because what one of my mentors has said, podcasting is internet radio on demand and bingeable. Meaning when somebody finds good content that's engaging, instructional, informative, in other words, it's just good and people like it. And we hope that the people that listen to our podcast get value out of it and think it's good and learn a lot, and they see the value in the content. Then they subscribe to it, meaning they raise their hand and they say, I'm willing to hear everything you create, which creates another phenomenon called engagement. And then one of the other things is it's not based on when it's broadcast. Radio and television is broadcasting. It's broadcast at a particular time of the day, but the world loves time-shifted content. That's why DVRs and even all the way back to video recorders and things like Spotify and Hulu and Netflix, those are time-shifted, bingeable content through the internet solution. So podcasting is the one little internet radio situation that an individual can own, but it's much more than building an audience. It's building content that rises you in the search engines. My mentor Seth Godin says podcasting is the new blogging. In other words, you can learn to write content, and for me, I mean, I know Hal's really good at it, but I'm not a very good writer. I don't like sitting down to a blank sheet of paper and just start typing. But speaking and turning that spoken word information into something that people can consume and subscribe to and binge listen to all over the world is why I love podcasting.
And if I can interrupt here, one reason I like it, and I've written hundreds of articles in pest control marketing, but when you write, like you say, you've got to sit down and look at that paper, and then the ideas have to come out and go on paper, which is a whole new mental challenge. And then you've got to edit. You've got to use proper spelling. You've got to use proper punctuation, and you don't want to, because you don't want the word police coming after you. So when you just talk, you don't have to worry about spelling. You don't have to worry about punctuation. You don't have to worry about typing skills or anything. You just turn the thing on and talk. And if you have to cough or you say, it doesn't matter. So it's so much easier just to talk than it is to write.
Absolutely. In other words, you can create content faster, easier, and at the end of the day, you get the same effect as if you had written blog posts or articles. Blog posts are nothing more than written articles or journalism. It's akin to writing a newspaper column versus having a radio show. That's the best way to talk about what it is technically. Now,
so let's talk about what a pest. How could a pest control company? I mean, do you think that there are people out there who want to tune in and listen to people talk about how to treat a house for termites or cockroaches?
Well, let's go back to what it's really meant for. Number one, your customers, I don't care what your business is, your customers have burning questions. Okay? I don't care what you do. People don't know what you know. So what happens is they go to the search engines, Google, Bing, Yahoo, and YouTube is another search engine that people don't think about, but YouTube is a search engine. And they look for answers for questions. Do I need to worry about termites swarming? When do termites swarm? Can I die from a yellow jacket sting? I mean, I can think of a million questions I don't know the answer to. But you do, Hal, because you're an entomologist. You're a pest control agency. So when they search for these questions, do they find you answering them? And a percentage of those people, rather than having to read, will listen. And if they're short and sweet, and you sound as an authority answering people's questions, then you've earned the right to tell you who sponsors you. You've earned the right to say, now, if you have any other kind of problems like this, here's how to get in touch with me. Here's my website. Here's my phone number. Tell your friends. Share us on social media. And you have a way of building what's called an authority presence on the internet. So it's not about, are people going to listen to a bug show? It depends on if the bug show is good. It depends on if you're answering questions and entice them that you got more content like this. Can you be a little bit humorous? Can you be funny? Can you be entertaining? Can you be educational? The whole point is make the show good, make it short and concise, and answer the burning questions of your market. And if even no one is listening, it can be the lead magnet back to your phone number, your website, and how to get in touch with you when they experience those problems. And we've had several of our coaching clients and our consulting clients take the leap and do blogging and podcasting and YouTube. And they're generating leads that maybe never even listen to the content. They keep getting found over and over again. How do you solve silverfish in Tampa, Florida? And up comes Kobe McConnell. I mean, it's almost the lead generation aspect of taking the action to do what others don't do can make you rise above the clutter. And that's probably the number one reason that when Seth Godin said podcasting is the blogging of today, we always blogged not so much for hoping that we have readers. Now, obviously, we'd love to have millions of readers and millions of listeners, But that's not realistic coming out of the chute. But it is realistic to dominate a local market with your content. And podcasting is faster than blogging. And most all of our clients, because I've worked with so many of them, Hal, they won't blog. They obviously are not podcasting. And they're doing zero content marketing. I just recently put a presentation together that I'm working on our next level PCO marketing event coming up this February, and there's 10 things that people don't do that they should do that have nothing to do with the way their website looks, and podcasting is a huge one. It is a great way to be everywhere online. And the only way you're going to dominate online is create content. Now, you can either sit there and write content. You can either get behind a very inexpensive but affordable microphone, $40, $50 microphone, and answer questions and advertise your business. And at the end of the day, if you don't give Google and the search engines content, you are a needle in a haystack. So if I was to say why podcasting is so important for any business, especially pest control, number one, I guarantee your competitors will never do it. And I've heard every reason why not to do it. I don't have time. I don't know what to say. I don't like it. I'm scared to talk. I mean, all of those are overcome. Those are objections that you can overcome. You do have the time. If you can't spend 15 minutes a week answering questions, and you're not willing to spend $40 to $50 on a Yeti microphone, and now you may not know the technology to set this up, but that's all stuff that's easily done. You probably already have the website that can do a blog or a podcast. So there's not a business in the world that can't benefit from content. In fact, one of the things I recommend you do is go to Google and search content marketing. There are experts at this with a plethora of information of how important content marketing is to the search engines. And just remember, like one of the things that we started doing recently is the repurposing of our podcasts. You've uploaded all our podcasts to our YouTube channel because people will listen to that content on YouTube. And I do the 80-20 rule with my podcast. We're doing kind of the 80-20 rule here with this podcast. We want to give 80% killer, informative, unique to us, over the top, shock and awe information. 80% of the time. But 20% of the time, we're going to remind people how they can do business with us. And that's what you earn the right if you give good content to your market, whether it's a local market or a worldwide market. We got listeners in Australia and New Zealand, but how the guy in Australia, one guy that I'm thinking of in particular in Australia, he found us because he was in Japan listening to us, and then when he went back to Australia, he called and became a client. But I know, alluding to what you said a while ago, none of your competitors are going to do this for the same reason you're not doing it, folks. It's because it represents change. It represents learning something new. And your subconscious mind gets into what we call hypnotic rhythms. You do what is comfortable for you. And you're in this little box that you live in and you work in and everything's comfortable and you got these rhythms going. And something new comes along which represents change. And change represents a threat to your subconscious. I call my subconscious Elmo. A lot of you have heard my Elmo presentation, but that represents a threat. So your subconscious will grab you by the arm and keep you from climbing out of that box. It will hold on to you, drag you, whatever it has to do to keep you in that box. So if you think you would like to do a podcast, or you would like to do more about it, you have no idea how to get it set up, you don't know how to get started or whatever, call Mike.
Mike, you'll walk them through it, won't you? You'll help them get it set up.
Absolutely, Hal. That's one of the things that I love doing. I've done with hundreds of businesses. Aside from working with Hal in the pest control world, my real business is helping people understand how to use audio to dominate on the internet. And so you give me a call, 770-826-3662. I'd be glad to talk to you and answer your questions. The technical side of it, that's not what we wanted to talk about this morning. The technical side is something you can hire somebody to set it up once, and you can actually manage a lot of this yourself, or you can have somebody in your office. The technical side is the easy part. The hard part is what I heard years ago. If you plan to succeed, do what you fear. And I know why people don't do this is because they're like you said, their subconscious shuts you down, and that's just a form of fear. Let me tell you something. Content marketing works. Google it if you don't believe me. Podcasting is the only social media that you own and control. Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and all those other social medias, you don't own that. But those companies made it easy to create content. You take pictures, you type little comments. It's not an audio-driven social media. This is an audio-driven social media, and I will help you do it. I've set up podcasts for several of our PCOs, and they're getting the benefit. Kobe McDonald said he even stopped his paid advertising because all his content is driving more leads to him than anything. He doesn't have to do anything. So I know it works. It's just, who out there wants to know how to make it happen? Call me at 770-826-3662 or email me, Mike at Internet Audio Guy, or call Hal. Call Hal. There's things that Hal can help you with. And, of course, when you work with Hal or you work with me, we're going to refer back and forth because I'm Mr. Online World. This was an online discussion today. But Hal, the getting over the fear and thinking of what to say, that's an offline world. So how do they get in touch with you, Hal?
Well, at first, let me say, I know a lot of people are afraid. They think they can't do it. They think they're not smart enough to do it. They think they're not capable of doing it. It seems too daunting. But what is your universal tagline to respond to that?
Well, if anybody in the world if Hal Coleman can do this, anybody can do this.
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, folks, if I can do it, listen, anybody. Because Mike will tell you, going back, I remember the first day you called me, golly, 25, 30 years ago or something, you said, Al Gore has invented this thing called the internet that I got to tell you about. But
and you said, what did you say?
You drugged me into this stuff, kicking and screaming, and here I am, and I told you that I would get a computer and learn how to use a website when you learn how to skin a possum. And so far, I've done well, and you have yet to even touch a possum, much less skin a possum. So there you go.
If the apocalypse comes, you'll still be able to eat possum, and I'll starve to death.
There you go. Yeah, they can reach me at 770-993-0004 or email me at hal@halcoleman.com if you'd like to find out more about how you can create just another stream of new customers showing up at your door, raising their hands, saying, we want to do business with you, and we're here because we listen to your podcast. That's just the way it goes. We practice what we preach. The stuff that we teach is the stuff that we do. And the reason we do it is because it works. And also, I want to take just a second, Mike, if I can, to tell people about an event that we do every year in February called the Pest Control in the Next Level Pest Control Marketing Workshop. It's every February. We take a small group of pest control operators for a couple of days, and we drill down on a lot of this stuff, just all the way to the bottom. I mean, we really send people away. If you go to nextlevelpcomarketing.com, just read the testimonials from the people who have been to the Next Level PCO Marketing Workshop, and we'd love to have you in there. If you want to know more about it, you can give us a call. But it's a great event. It's getting bigger every year, and I'm getting more excited about it every year. So check out the Next Level PCO Marketing Workshop, and if you'd like to know more about it, you can reach out. So, Mike, I believe we've covered it, old buddy.
Well, you know what? If we didn't go to the Facebook group Pest Control Marketing Gold in Facebook, become a member, and give us comments. If we left something out, if there's something you want us to cover. In fact, this particular episode was purely from somebody in the group saying, when are you going to do a podcast on podcasting? So that's a great way. If you hear this, join the Facebook group. All of these things are our gift to the world. There's no charge. There's never going to be a charge. As Facebook said, it's free and it always will be. But that's a great way to do it. So, we need to get out of here.
So who knows? We may do a podcast on possum skinning one of these days. But if you don't subscribe and stay tuned, you'll miss that episode.
I may take the day off on that one.
Mike, me too. I'm ready to get some work done here, and we need to wrap this one up. So once again, I've enjoyed it. And folks, thank you for joining us on the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
And now here's a word from our sponsor.
Google Pest Control Marketing. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Did you hear that? That is a jingle. But more than that, it is an audio logo and what I call a marketing earworm. But that's a bug, that's a worm you want in your local market on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and podcasts like you're listening to right now. Yes, you should do a podcast as a PCO, but we'll talk about that another time. You want your market singing Google your name, what you do, and your phone number. Simple, but it works. If you want to cash in on this marketing bonanza, go to pestcontrolmarketingjingles.com to learn more. Or just call me, Mike Stewart, at 770-826-3662, or call Hal Coleman at 770-993-0004. And we would love to show you how to do what we call search and call advertising with earworms. And oh yeah, it works on that old-timey technology of radio and television. Why don't you call us today and learn more?
Google Pest Control Marketing. Grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.